Let's talk about ICE detention centers for a minute because that's something that's been in the news in the last week, that there's going to be an expansion of these ICE detention centers. Really a fucked up way of making money for private detention centers like Core Civic and Geo Group, who are big funders to Trump's PACs during the election, who are also invested in by Trump's allies, who are making a killing right now, especially after the big ugly bill passed and the promise of billions of dollars going into this industry to further expand and build more beds, because these companies make money every single day from every single bed that's filled by a migrant that's being detained there. So this is really aggressive expansion plan by the Trump administration that was reported by the Washington Post, that is planning to have or to hold over 100,000 migrants at one time, on any given day in this country, as they're being processed through our detention center. That's nearly double the amount of capacity that we hold right now. It's an aggressive expansion that is scheduled to make record profits from private prison detention companies like Geo Group and Core Civic. Their investors are making a killing. Those investors are Trump's friends. These are taxpayer dollars from the government that are going to paying private detention centers to incarcerate our immigrant brothers and sisters who right now are being snatched off the streets by covered up, masked up ICE agents, to put into these prisons and then hold them there as long as they can to make money without due process for a profit, while making the most racist group of people in this country happy, feeding them red meat. And the worst part about this is that this big ugly bill that Trump just passed, the most unpopular bill in American history, it cut Medicaid, it cut rural hospitals, it cut SNAP, it cut social safety nets that allowed people to eventually climb into the middle class. But it doubled down and reinvested, double, tripled the number of money going into the Department of Homeland Security, into ICE detention centers, expanding the number of people that are going to be militarizing the border. No college degree required for people that want to go into these jobs. And that's a scary part here, because people who need to climb up into the middle class, who perhaps don't have a college degree, are going to see this as a way to get into the middle class and are going to be loyal, blindly loyal to this. And the thing about these like private detention centers is that they're not, because they're private, they feel that they don't have to be accountable to the people, to the taxpayers. Just a few weeks ago, Congressman Greg Casar attempted to enter a detention center in Central Texas, in the Austin, Texas area, because he had heard some complaints. Members of Congress traditionally have access because they're the purse. They control the budget. They're the ones that fund these things at the congressional level. They traditionally have unlimited access to these places. Greg Casar was not allowed to enter this detention center. And we've been seeing Democratic members of Congress, politicians from the center left, that have been bullied and kicked out in their attempt to enter these detention centers, in trying to see what's going on in there, trying to see if the conditions are good for people while they're being held up in there. So what are they hiding? The conditions must be fucking horrible. Anyway, I think it's important to talk to our neighbors, to talk to our friends and coworkers, and keep reminding them that this immigration issue is really just a big money machine for people like Trump and his friends and these companies. And it's not really about border security or securing our country. They are snatching good, hardworking people off the fields, farm workers, construction workers, people that are contributing to this society, who are working to provide for their families, who are an important part of our local communities, are being put into these prisons. People that are no danger at all to any of our communities, who are our friends, who are our neighbors, are being put into these prisons to make a buck for Trump's friends. Keep reminding especially your friends that voted for Trump, or who right now aren't sure how they're going to vote in the next election. This is such an important issue to really break through, to really let them know just how corrupt the system is. Take care, everybody.